How you doing today, guys? Welcome to my third episode of Civil War II as the Confederacy. Well, let's take a quick look at our objective screen here. It shows all the cities and their morale value if I win or lose them. Confederacy, as you can see, starts with the vast majority of them. It shows me my casualties. Union lost 8,000. We've lost 3,500. Captured 1,300. So more than 2-to-1 kill count in our favor. So far doing pretty good, but this early on doesn't mean that much. Now let me see. It looks like we had a battle in New Madrid, Missouri. Very small, one of our regiments versus 2 Union regiments. We lost the battle. They are going to withdraw to Poplar Bluff. You know what? Let me check my notifications. We got 6 war supply from our blockade runners. And we got 10 more supply from our merchant fleet and shipping lanes. Didn't realize we had a merchant fleet in our shipping lanes, but this is the thing we do. And I'll take the war supplies or whatever. Yep, I just looked at that. A lot of movement. It's telling me just no cores before 1862. I believe I have to wait till October of this year. I think it is, before I can make divisions. Let me increase our rail pool again, that's important. Arsenal is under construction. I believe I started the arsenals last turn, and now they're beginning construction officially. And Captain Robinson, I believe that is an incident in Kentucky, so I believe that will make Kentucky available pretty quick here. But for now, let's start checking out our units. Let's see. Johnson is supposed to be going on the attack against General McDowell. Now, however, because of Heintzelman's retreating from Manassas, that puts him in a position where he could rail very quickly to Harper's Ferry, so I think I should change that to a conservative attack, just in case McDowell gets heavily reinforced. So we'll just have to keep an eye on that. Okay, so they're going to continue holding their position and just doing what I last told them to do. The situation hasn't changed that much yet. Now, General Floyd is still trying to run for the hills, trying to escape after his defeats last turn. Well, his defeats in the first 2 turns. Trying to get to his reinforcements, which are moving to Covington. Now, Heintzelman, he has retreated, so that means these guys are no longer tied down, although the sharpshooters, they are going to continue to move up here and going to reinforce Johnson's army. However, Huger's detachment here will join the reserve. Now move that into one army. And they're going to move towards Lexington just to make sure old Milroy up here doesn't try and move down. And they'll meet up with Wise's Legion. That will probably be enough to defend this area adequately. And if need be, I've got General Thompson and his regiment over here, which could reinforce as well. Let's see, we have the Virginia Reserve, which has just moved to Fredericksburg, and we also have General Johnson, which moved to take command of Fredericksburg. Although the threat does appear to have subsided to Fredericksburg, I see no reason not to keep them there in position. And we have sharpshooters down here. They will be moving, going around, trying to get to Manassas to reinforce the Army of the Potomac. General Smith and General Winder will hold their ground. Magruder, he will stay where he's at. So now that I've moved to the adjacent province of Fort Monroe, I should say county, I suppose, I can see that their power is 256 inside that fort. So I can see my fighting power is only 136. So obviously I would not attempt an offensive maneuver there. Goal is just hold the defense and just try and make sure they don't break out. Probably should reinforce Magruder, but that's going to be on the back burner for now. Let's see, Zollicoffer, he's going to stay where he's at. They will stay where they're at for now. The Raleigh force, they need to start marching north. Polk's detachment has just arrived. Well, actually it's been there for a little while. I think Polk just recently arrived. But they're going to hold their ground. And we've got some new forces available here, which will join Polk's detachment. Supply train still moving up. Price, he will stay there. These guys are going to move to Fort Smith. They will be a permanent garrison in Chattanooga. McCulloch's Army of the West will continue marching east. He will also meet up with Polk. Let's see, Carolina Department still moving along. Let's see if they can cross the river here. No, that'll take them 2 turns. We'll just have them march there. What about if they get up here? I don't think there's any real advantage doing that. We'll just leave them there. Alrighty. They can get there in 13 days. And you can get all the way to Shreveport. Where is this? Oh, Savannah Force. Well, let me see. I've got a garrison of 2 regiments, 2 batteries in Savannah currently. 1 regiment, 2 batteries there. Let's move 1 additional regiment into that fort there. Then the rest of these guys I will use to move north. Probably should rail them, but I don't want to use the capacity, so they'll get there in 9 days. And General Sibley has become available. Historically, the Confederacy did mount a weak attempt early in the war to maintain a presence in New Mexico. I'm not really sure if I even want to worry about it. I'm thinking I may leave Baylor as the sole general for now, but just to maintain a defense, I don't know if I need more than 1 general. Let me see. I'm going to move General Sibley to Fort Worth. I will probably use him just to kind of keep an eye on this. The Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas border area. Because it is an area sometimes where we have problems, and if we don't end up getting any trouble down there, I may move him north to support Price's command. That looks like the last available unit that is available to move. Okay, so now our decisions. We need rail. Yeah, let's do the river too. That's going to use pretty much every bit of my supply, but as I've said before, that's important to get my supply moving ability up to speed. And now actual war production, that's where I need to go next. My units in the field are doing fairly good as far as replacements. I could use more of this, definitely, but that takes a ton of war supply that I don't have currently. Let's see, you can replace some light guns. And what about our militia? Let's just replace some militia company. Actually, I think that, I believe this reinforces an entire regiment. Not 100% sure about that, but yeah, I don't think it's down to the company level. Alright, that looks like all we can do for this turn as far as that goes. Is there any decisions I want to worry about? We can export some more bales. I think I will start clearing some of this area, because every once in a while something does happen down here, and being able to move supply may become something of an issue. So I'll go ahead and do that. Defensive works. You know what? We should build more defensive works in Fredericksburg. I believe we completed the works in Manassas already. Telegraph lines available. Let us use that in. Might as well just do it in Richmond. Alright, that's sold. You know what? Actually, let me check on my naval boxes out here. Looks like they've all got supply to last a while still. They're doing okay out there. Mississippi and Manassas are still under construction. And that actually is something I should do, is start making a few light ships once I get the opportunity, just so I can increase our blockade running and raiding. Okay, yeah, let's call it a turn there. Let's see if Johnston actually engages McDowell in Harper's Ferry area. Hopefully McDowell doesn't get any reinforcements. Fighting here somewhere. Oh, you know what? There's shipment. ships going up and down the river there. That's what's going on there. Okay, so it looks like there was no battle at Harper's Ferry, so let's go check that situation out. Okay, so McDowell withdrew to Fredericktown. I guess he realized he wasn't in a good spot to win that fight. Okay. So Johnston, you go back on defense then. You're good where you're at. Beauregard stays where he's at. Let me see. It doesn't really look like the situation has changed at all. It doesn't look like they have overwhelming force in Alexandria currently. Although most likely they do in Washington, and they could move through Alexandria to Manassas fairly quickly, so I probably still should be concerned. It is a little bit interesting that that looks like it's showing, I believe that is General Butler in Washington, because I believe he starts the campaign, I think, in Fort Monroe. So it kind of leads me to wonder if they have any commanding general in Fort Monroe currently. Although with that power that it's still showing in Fort Monroe, I don't think it matters really. It's still very hard to take. And what is this? We have Union cavalry in Covington area. Their strength is about half of my current force there, so I don't think I want to attack them. I'd rather just stay on defense and see if they were willing to try and attack me. And we'll just hold back and wait for Huger to arrive, and if they're still there when he gets there, then we'll thump them. Just for now, I'll just have them garrison Poplar Bluff. And we're finally getting something of an army put together here with Polk. Join Zollicoffer. We'll just garrison that. So we do have a force with some strength. I mean, as far as the Western Theater goes, anything over 100 is decent. But they're still not that good a strength compared to what Price has. Ouch. And that terrain, it's tough sledding. Even though I really don't want to, I think it may be worth my while just to rail them through that ground. And that actually didn't take as much out of my rail as I thought it would. It only took like 14 points, so it's not too bad. So that'll get them to Memphis real quick. For now, I'll just have them join together. Just put them on permanent sentry status, just to make sure I've got sufficient guard in Little Rock. Mississippi, I guess they'll go join Polk. Because I believe historically General Polk was the commander of the Army of the Mississippi. So that makes sense to put the Mississippi troops under his command. Alright, so I think I will have these cavalry just station them here in Jefferson. Once they get there, they'll just stay on defense. Join Fort Pulaski Garrison. Okay, now we've actually got a few different forces buzzing around over here, although I've lost track of Milroy, and he was in charge of the bulk of it. Unless this guy is taking over command, which I suppose is possible, so that may be them there, but it's not giving me a reading on strength, so I don't know. That may be them. A little concerned cavalry may get a hold of Floyd and tear his force up some more, but don't know if there's anything I can do about it, though, honestly. It'll take him a long time to get there. Let's see, he's going to be there in 8 days. I think General Thompson might as well. God, it's going to take him 14 days just to get there. I guess that'll have to do. Alright, looks like our units are done. Go back to the nothing I can really do now. I could do that for now, but I don't think it's really necessary at the moment. Alright, so what have I got? Infantry actually needs very little, and since I've got some more supply, let's see about increasing, getting my guns replaced. And that gives us just enough war supply for a couple of militia. Don't think there's anything else we really need to worry about right now, so that'll be it. That's all of our war supply. So there's really not going to be much else to do, if anything. You know what, I didn't check my notifications. I don't think nothing too groundbreaking happened. Let's see, we got 6 war supply. United States succeeded in retreating before Battle of Harper's Ferry, which I kind of knew. So Wise's Legion actually engaged them, but they escaped before we could get a hold of them, though. And then we bombarded enemy troops moving down the river, and we scored a ton of hits on them, too. Okay, yeah, so there's nothing too big going on, so let's go next turn. Well, so it's hard to say where the next important move is going to happen next. For now, it looks like it's just kind of a stalemate, trying to build up strength. do? Well, oh wait. Okay, so they're staying in Alexandria. It looked like they were moving right up to Manassas, but I guess not. Well, that's good. That may give me a little bit of time to get some reinforcements. And with that kind of force there, I better get reinforcements up there as quickly as possible. But I still don't know what kind of threat I may be dealing with from West Virginia area. But I think I'll just take Major General Thompson and his single regiment, and they will rail hastily to Manassas. Now then, there's a question, as I've got these troops in Fredericksburg, so should I rush them to Manassas, or should they hold their ground? Yeah, I'll try and do some of my other movements, and I'll think about it. I think Huger needs to stay in this area. Matter of fact, this guy looks like he's going to come down towards Strasburg, so Huger is going to move to Newmarket. These guys have increased in strength a little bit, but their supply is almost nothing. Yeah, I think I'm going to leave him, just tell him to keep moving. Looks like there's no supply in Lewisburg anyway. And then that also means now, rather than leave Fredericksburg, I could leave Harper's Ferry. But then that begs the question, what does this guy have? Now I can see now that Milroy is over here in Charleston, so he's actually farther away than I thought. So I don't know this guy. I have no idea what he has. It's not Milroy's force, so I mean, it's possible that he has nothing there, because sometimes the AI will move their generals around by themselves in strange ways, so there may not be any strength there. I probably won't know until I get closer. Maybe once Huger gets to Newmarket, I'll be close enough to figure out what he's got. I'm a little hesitant to move Johnston over here in this area, because a lot of times then he could move up there very quickly and hit us when we're not in a defensive position. Because at least where we're sitting at right now, we do have some entrenchment. But if I try and move down, they could rail up there and probably would crush Johnston. They've got considerably more strength than Beauregard, but as many men as Beauregard has in an entrenched position, fairly confident he probably could hold. But that's just something we're not going to know for sure. So I just need to try and conjure what reinforcements I can and try and get him over there. I think Johnston's going to stay put. Cavalry here, Laurel Brigade, and that's a pretty big brigade for cavalry, so let's try and get them up to Manassas. Considering the rarity of them making any attack out from Fort Monroe, I think I'm going to have Magruder start withdrawing towards Williamsburg and back up towards Virginia. Or, I'm sorry, Richmond. It's already in Virginia. Okay, we got these guys. They are just a little bit south, and that's actually my timer telling me to wrap this up. So let's just try and finish this turn.